All right, here you go, everyone. Dr. Troy Dukowitz here, and this is going to be a Zoom tutorial to the best of my ability for the knowledge that I have on this. I've been using it for a while, so it's super easy. Basically, you can see here, you're going to need to get a plan. You're going to want to at least get the pro plan, and the reason for that is because there is a 40-minute limit on the free plan. Now, if you think that you're going to only need up to 40 minutes, then you know what, go for it. Otherwise, I would have you go sign up for the pro plan. This also has recordings. So you actually get cloud recordings. You can go in there and you can download this. This is great for repurposing any class, any talk, anything that you do down the road. So super easy to do. You can also download these in MP3 format or MP4, I guess, format. So you have audio and video. Super cool. So you buy your account. Now I already have an account. So we are going to go into my account, and this is what you will see on the profile page, okay? You see on the left-hand side of the screen, there's meetings, webinars, recordings, and settings. So I can go into recordings, and this is where you're going to find all of your recordings. And then you come over here, you'll see where it says file size, and you click on that. This is so easy, it's not even funny. And if I want everything to download, I simply hit download. It's going to download. I drop it on my desk. It will download at the bottom of your screen, and then it will you can then drag it to your desktop. Super easy. You can get only the audio if you want by clicking this button here. You can get the video if you want, which is a split screen view. And then also, if you had a lot of questions going on the side, then you can actually get the chat file of those questions. This is great for people who had questions, for you to be able to follow up with those people or to create single videos off of those questions that they had. So super like awesome bonus to have as a part of getting your downloads here. So we're going to go up here and we want meetings. So I'm just going to schedule a meeting. Okay. So you can see here I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays already scheduled all the way through. And I was able to set this up so that everybody could have the same exact login for these calls, which makes it easy on everyone. If you were a person who traded with somebody, if you're a Monday person, you trade with somebody on Wednesday, you have the same login for a Zoom call. So it makes it super easy across the board. Now, we want to schedule a meeting. Let's say you have something that you want to do this Thursday at 7 p.m. So I'm just going to go right up here where it says schedule a meeting. I can name it. Let's just say outreach. You can put a description if you want, and then I'm going to put the date. So I'm going to put the date as, here we go, Thursday the 26th. And let's say that is, it's like at 7 o'clock at night. We want to do a family call. Calling all families. I usually put it in for a little bit longer, just because I just put it in for a little longer. It never has cut me off if I had something that was short, but I usually make it a little longer. And then you really are going to leave all this stuff alone. Okay. The video is off when people come on. If you want participants' videos to pop on, which is actually kind of nice, you can just hit this button, and then all participants, when they hop on, their video is going to automatically pop up. This way they're not screwing around with trying to turn it on, and I can't find where the button's at and all that stuff. So this is one that you probably want to go ahead and switch and put on. Host, I keep mine off. That way, just as I'm preparing and getting stuff done, you don't have to see what I'm doing behind the scenes. I can just get it done, and then I can go ahead and turn mine on. And it allows me the opportunity to see when people are popping on, then I can then jump on as well. Audio, it allows people to do both telephone or computer audio. And then we go down here and we say record the meeting automatically. This is incredibly huge. I have had many a times where for individual meetings, I forgot to hit the record button. And so if you just have this go on automatically, it'll record, it'll go right to the cloud when you're done. And then all you have to do is you get an email telling you, hey, this thing is ready to go. So this is super easy to be able to use. Most of these other things you don't have to worry about. So it's not even really worth going into right now. So I'm going to hit save. And then when I hit save and I go back to meetings, okay, so this gives you all the information. And if I want to invite people, then I can just click this link right here, right click it to copy it. Or I can simply click this, copy the invitation. Okay. And so the thing is, when you go copy the whole invitation, I want you to look at how big this is. Okay. This is huge. This gives everybody the details. It gives you what time that I'm inviting you to a meeting. I don't like this just because it's super impersonal. Okay. So I tend to take this and I right click it. And I'm just going to show you this right now. So pardon the interruption here. I'm going to show you this right now, how I do this. So then I pull up an email, okay? And I do this. I right click the link now to access the meeting. And then I might make like a little arrow next to it, okay? What you do is you highlight this. And then you go, I right click, and this is on Microsoft Word, you go down where it says link. And all I have to do where it says address here is drop the link in. Done. So the reason I do this first is because then I will do another one. Click here now. And I like to have 2 in my emails. Gives people an opportunity to see it twice. And I just go do the same thing, right click, drop it in there, boom. So now I can write my email copy. Hey dude, hey Dud. We're gonna leave it, hey Dud. Hey Dud, have a talk on Thursday night. We'd love to have you attend. Click the link below at 7 p.m. Thursday, and we are good to go. Okay, that's it. Super simple. Now, I'm also going to make sure that I send out an email 2 days before. I'm going to send out an email reminder the day before, and I'm going to send out an email the day of the talk. And typically, you like to do at least one, maybe a half hour or 15 minutes before it gets going. For me, for y'all as clients, I don't, you notice that once you get the links now, you get them, and typically on the same day of something, I'll send you one, but I'm not doing 15 minutes before anymore, simply because it's become a habit. People have gotten used to doing these talks, so they can check 1 or 2 emails from the week and they're ready to roll. But for people that are brand new to this, and you're trying to get people into a new culture of something that you're doing online, this is something you want to make sure that you are sending an email probably around 15 minutes before as a reminder, like, hey, we're going in 15, can't wait to see you, okay? So that's taking care of the link. And then the rest of this is just information about what it is that you are doing. Also a little bit about Facebook Live right now, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to keep this very simple so that you can get in and do these talks. You could always take the video and post it to Facebook, and there's a way to post it that makes it look as if it's live. Again, that's something for another day. So I simply go here to my meetings, and now I have a list of meetings, and you will see right here at 7, right down here, if you look right here where it's highlighted, Thursday, March 26th, 7 p.m. outreach. That is your talk. So if you want to invite somebody to it, you can click outreach again, you go right back in, click the link, and we're ready to go. So we're gonna go back to the meeting, and we are going to actually start your meeting. So let's say it's game time. The crowd's going crazy. We come here, we press start. This is going to start your meeting. It takes a moment here to process. It says open Zoom meetings. I say yes, open Zoom meetings. We wait patiently. There we go. Boy, that took a lot longer than usual. I've also heard that right now with COVID-19 that there's a lot of people doing Zoom, so things can be a little slower. Hasn't happened to me yet. This is the first time, of course, when I'm doing a live video. Okay, so it's going to give you a prompt. It's going to prompt you to join with computer audio, or if you want to switch and go over to phone call, you can do that as well. Then you can call in. But I'm a computer audio, super easy. Just boing, boom, boom, join with audio. Now take a look at the top left-hand corner screen. It is recording. So if I don't want this being recorded right now, I'm just going to hit pause. Now I have to remember to hit record. So if you're a person who doesn't know how to do that, leave this on. Don't screw with it. Let it record, and you can trim it. You can edit it before you give it out to people. So just let it keep recording, and especially if you're logging on just a few minutes before, it's totally cool. These are easy to edit, okay? Now you take a look at it. It's got the meeting information here. Not a real big deal, but you can see it says up top who's talking. Hey, that's me. Down at the bottom left-hand corner, I want you to see this. It says mute. Well, I can mute myself. So if you're doing something and you're trying to get a few things done before your talk, mute yourself. People don't need to hear what you're talking about. They also don't need to hear if you're going to the bathroom. And when I'm ready, I can turn both of these on. Invite is maybe I've had somebody who I wanted to invite last minute. I can come right here, copy the URL and send it to them, or I can copy the URL. I just press that button. And then I can just come right here in the chat and say, hey, if you know anyone who needs to be here, forward this link now. Boom, and they can do it. So you saw what I did there at the bottom of your screen. We've got unmute, start video, invite, manage participants, share, chat, and more. More is go live on Facebook. We're not talking about it right now, but you can experiment if you like. Pause the recording, stop the recording. That's what you have for more. You have chat, which you hit the chat box, it opens it up over here, and you to the right of your screen. Let me, you probably didn't see that when I did it. Let me move it back over here so you can see it. Okay, so you come back over here so you can see it. So here we did an invite. We type the message down here, it shows up top. Now, what I want you to see here is it says to everyone. If there's somebody else on here, and let's say I want to talk to Brian privately, I can actually click the arrow here. It'll open up a list of everyone here, and I can send private messages to people. They can send private messages to me. This happens on our Zoom calls all the time where there's kind of side conversations going on. Somebody might have a question that they don't want to interrupt what's happening, or they might just like let me know they have to leave or something like that. So sometimes you get private messages like that. Or when there's two speakers going on, sometimes we're private messaging to make sure we hit something or cover something or make sure to review something. So we have the invite, manage participants. Simply, if you hit manage participants, look what happened to the Zoom chat. The Zoom chat moved down, and up to the right, you see where it opens up participants. This will give you a list of everyone on the call. This is an incredibly important part of this particular screen, because if you will notice, there is mute, okay? It shows what's happening right now. It shows that if you look at me, if you look at Troy, my video is off, my audio is on, and it's recording. You can see the cloud with the red dot. Now, if I want, look at down here, mute all, unmute all, or mute participants on entry, which is super huge. Look at the more button. Mute participants on entry. This is huge because sometimes people come on when you're talking and it's like crazy noise. It's totally annoying. Allow participants to unmute themselves. You want to leave that checked. Allow participants to rename themselves. Sure, if they want to. Play a chime for people who come in and out if you want that. And lock the meeting. Nobody else can get in. So mute participants on entry you might want to do. Again, it's something where I've been able to quickly respond and get people muted right away. But it might be something, if you're new at this, it might be something that you want to do. But definitely use this button. This is your friend right here, that when you get ready to talk, just hit mute all. That's it. Just hit mute all so you can get started. And then if somebody has a question and you can see that they, let them know, hey, if you have a question, raise your hand so I can see you, or type something in the chat box so that I can then unmute you, or you can unmute yourself. I can say, hey, Marcus, go ahead and unmute yourself. What's your question? Right? And make sure you remind people to unmute themselves, because sometimes they start talking and they're like halfway through a sentence or a whole paragraph and they don't even realize what they've done. So then we have share. Okay, so we've managed participants. I'm going to close that one down. I'm going to close down chat. I'm going to open up my screen. Okay, now when I open up my screen, boom, I'm going to make it a little bigger. I can share. So I hit the share button and it gives you options. This is what's so freaking cool. So I have double screens at home. So at my office too. So I have double screens. So if I wanted to, while I'm doing this talk, I could share my second screen. Or if I have a whiteboard access on my computer, I can share that. If I have an iPhone or an iPad, I can connect remotely and share that. So I can share something individually that's already on my screen. So I can share the screen. And what you'll see happen is that all of a sudden, now the bar, and I have to see if I can move this down. There you go, folks. Look at this. Okay, when I'm sharing my screen, what happens is, let's make sure it shows. Okay, when I'm sharing my screen, everything that was at the bottom of the screen pops up to the top of your screen. So you can share whatever it is that you want to share. So it just moved and shifted to the top. You have all the same tools that you can use, but it just moved to the top. And when you're done sharing, boom, you hit stop share. Cannot get any easier than that. You look at the bottom, we also have stop and pause recording, and that is your talk. Now, I'm going to show you something here, and it probably won't show up when I do video. Okay, so there I am. You can see me. Oh, hallelujah. All right, so what doesn't show, and hopefully I need you to look up at the top right-hand portion of the screen, and right now for this video, it says enter full screen. When you are doing your talks, if you're interviewing somebody, whatever, this is where you will go to manage how your screen looks. There's a button with little macros on it, a bunch of little boxes. It looks like a checkerboard. You click on that, you can see everybody who's on the call. You click on speaker view, it'll show speaker, and up at the top, it'll show everybody that's on the call, but you won't see everybody. There's an arrow that you have to press to be able to finally see everybody. So that is where you go to get the differing views while you are going through and having your talk. Okay, so it's incredibly important that you kind of play around with that a little bit, but that's where you're going to want to go. And typically what I've seen when I've done videos is that it will just, if I'm the one talking, it's going to show me first, and then the next person, if I'm talking to Brian, all of a sudden it's going to show Brian. So it's kind of like we're having a conversation and the video is showing the person who's talking each time, which is super cool. I think it's super cool because it really is like we're having a conversation. So those are the tools here. Now, when I'm done with this and everybody starts to sign off, I want to go up to the left here where it says recording and just hit stop. And it's going to ask me, do you want to stop the cloud recording? Yes, I do. And we're done. All you have to do at that point in time is hit end meeting, and this program is complete. So this is the tools. This is how you run a Zoom meeting, folks. This is how you do it. It doesn't take a very long time. You now have a tutorial on how to make this happen. So roll up your sleeves, get to work, and start having fun doing talks and interviews and classes for people on Zoom.